Hello, welcome to Lisa Marie Designs. I am Elisa Maria. Yes, it really is me. I'm throwing it back to when I don't have gray. I finally got a chance to dye my hair for Throwback Thursday. Do I look 10 years younger? Anyway, it is Throwback Thursday, and that means that we are going to do Rico. I'm going to put his picture up right here. Yes, the flamingo, my flamingo. I love him. I'm putting a picture up because I don't have him exposed anymore. I took his plastic off. I hope you guys enjoyed that additional bonus that I put down this morning from yesterday's Whip Wednesday. So if you weren't around for yesterday's Whip Wednesday, every Wednesday I do Lady in Gold, Portrait of Adele, #1, by Gustav Klimt. I want to put my hair up. Putting my hair up after all that. It's just so warm again, isn't it? It's either I'm freezing. One day I had the gloves that came up to here because my arms were freezing, and today I'm sweating again. So we are. Where were we last week? Last week I did this section with y'all. This beautiful flower. Is there anything underneath here? Oh yeah, sure. He's kind of almost done. Oh wait a minute. Let's turn that over. I have a mishmash of. Don't I though? I have a I don't even really need this big piece. Maybe it was this piece that I needed and I just threw it in on haphazardly. Okay, let's see. Just hang with me for a sec. I think I meandered like I do. I meandered underneath because I really wanted to see what this blue looked like. Isn't it gorgeous? And this is what I mean about this kit. To me, it's just like it's kicky and it's fun and it's you know, it gives me Vegas kind of vibes. I don't know why. I don't know. I think because I'm thinking of all those marquees in Vegas. It gives me, you know, Cuban vibes with especially this kind of color because you see these colored cars in Cuba. It gives me, of course, you know, the Floridian vibes. Let's turn this over. Let's see how far we get. Like, this is the way it just is sometimes with me. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I'm doing... I think I counted, I was talking to Betsy last night, and Betsy had said, I'm following along with you doing Woman in Gold, but I'm not as far as you are. And she said, and I said, wow, that's interesting, because I'm not that far. And I rattled off all the canvases that I do all week long. And I do, on Sunday, I do Bud. On Monday, I have Chosen with my members. On Tuesday, I have Beauty and Violet. And Wednesday, I have Woman in Gold. Thursday, I have Rico. Friday is Freestyle. And I've been doing now, I'm going to bring out my little spooky black cat with the Starry Night. And then, was that Saturday? Nope, that was Friday. And then Saturday, I have Crafternoon again with my members. And so I have 6 different canvases that I'm rotating all week long. So yeah, I'm happy that some of you are following me along with that canvas. I just cannot take my eyes off of that canvas. I keep talking about it all the time. And I feel this way with Rico. He's so vibrant and colorful. He gives me vibes of when I did, what was it? Oh, come on. It's a Camilo Del Rico. It is, Foxy Lady. She's the little girl with the fox on her head. Now I got to just make sure that I am in this shot. We're getting ready to diamond paint. What are we doing? We're going to do, now you might say, oh, you're going to do that big juicy black part. I don't think I am. I think I want to get into this beautiful design that's in here. I think I do. I think I can. So it seems like there's B, and then it's going into C, and then E and F are in there. Okay, and then the flowers are something totally different. Now, I know a lot of my #1s are A, Bs, so I'm going to have this little thing out. Do I have some water next to me? I do. So we get to do some A, Bs here, too. Should we do the A, Bs first? Let's do them first. We're always kind of saving things as like, you know, oh, I'll save it for last. You know, no, let's do it now. So this is AB number 603. There are a lot of pinks, ABs in here, and I believe that there is a kind of like there's a baby pink, a vibrant pink, a hot pink. There is like a pale orange, like a sherbet. So pretty. So what am I doing here? I actually did it backwards. I wanted to put the water in here, but no matter. I'm going to spray water in here, and I'm going to use my diamond painting pen from Dreamer Design. Do I have it in this carousel? Probably not. Let's see how many I can pull out before I finally hit it. I have 5 in my hand so far. Here it is. So this is from Dreamer Design. They give you can actually get these tips. I will link them for you. There is nothing in there. In fact, I'm going to make sure that there's nothing in there. I'll keep telling you there's nothing in there, but I want to make sure because I do use these tips sometimes. Oh, I do have something in there. Have some old wax in there, but I'm going to be using it with nothing. I don't know why I put wax in there. Here's another one. This one's totally clean. Let me use this one, and it has an aligner. Okay, I just want to show you guys that I don't use anything but I dab a little water on the tip. And this is number 6. And I pick up there's actually 2. Would you believe it? Oh my gosh, somebody just decided to take out a hand drill. I will say though, I have been using Diamond Art Club's putty. And I did try it out with the ABs, and it was very kind to them. So, you know, even though I was talking about yesterday that I believe that different colored waxes, like, you know, when you see yellow and blue and purple, I think that, you know, I think that the blue one, I find the blue one to have a little bit more of a slip than the other colors, and I just never liked it. But I had a very light drill yesterday from Woman in Gold, because that's really all enhancements, and it picked those drills up really nicely. So, I mean, could there be different weights to it? I think so, depending on the type of coloring that they're using. I think that a lot of my my putties that I have, I love them because they have a special scent. You know, it kind of, you know, it gives you all the feels, you know, especially when you have something like now. Well, not now, it's 72 degrees out. It feels like 80. But when you get into those winter kind of scenes and you have like a scented putty that smells like a fireside, I have one and I love it, and Foofy loves it. It's so funny how he loves this smell. But after a while it gets to be cloying. I get to like where I feel like I can't breathe. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so bad. And I do think that when you use putties that have like oils in them, like in the scent of like a peppermint or a lemon, they tend to be a little bit too strong for the compound, for the putty compound. And I think that in hotter months, they tend to sweat more. And so, you know, I mean, you got to pick and choose. You know, I just felt like I was always, it was like, well, if your putty is stringy, you can go put it in the refrigerator. I'm like, I'm thinking about getting a tabletop refrigerator because I mean, I keep getting up and down to go to the refrigerator and get the drills out. You'll know when you need more, they'll stop picking up. And I'm really picking up and like, am I even hitting the water? I don't even know that I'm hitting it. I'm too busy gabbing. Now, I don't know if Dreamer Designs markets this way. I don't know where I discovered this tip from. I don't know if it just came out of my own brain. I don't know. You know, I pull my experience from all over. Like this morning, I was showing you guys why I leave the cellophane, the plastic film. There's 3 of them, and they're not together. They're just stuck together, and I'm taking advantage of all. Like they're separate. They're not glued together. Taking advantage of all 3 of those. Multi-placing with 1 tip. Probably there was a little water that got underneath, and they all, you know, got in the game. I totally forgot what I was talking about. I always come back to it. Anyway. Oh, my nose is itching, and, you know, it's another thing with this crazy weather. It's like, even my husband was saying it. He's like, you know, Lisa, do you remember last year this time how I suffered with, you know, costochondritis? Like he gets that, which is like a sharp pain around in between the muscles of your rib cage. He's like, I get it every fall. And I'm like, yeah, I do remember that. And like, I get this like itch in my nose. So there must be something that it's like, what could be blooming? It's October. There is something that is irritating my nose. So I was, you know, telling you guys that, you know, how I keep my cellophane on the diamond painting. And that was like what I forgot to put in yesterday is, I was like, oh my gosh, I was telling these guys during my videotape time that I keep the cellophane on, and I keep saying, well, I'll tell you about it later. And then I didn't show you guys. So I did a separate video this morning, but it was good because I had extra tips, and I had stuff that I wanted to tell you guys that I found out even more about that painting. I'm feeling like I shouldn't even be talking about that painting because I'm working on something else altogether, and my nose is itching and driving me crazy. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I just dyed my hair. Is that why my nose is itching? I feel like I should be a Seinfeld episode. Like these are the deep thoughts that I have when I'm diamond painting. Maybe that's it. Is it really ginger ale, or are they just mixing Coke and Sprite together? We really do mix Coke and Sprite together. It's exactly what we do, and it's just like so funny. And I do think too that when you're working with putty drills, when you're working with wax, that the weather does play a big part of it. You know, there are times when, you know, I'm just, you know, it's hot in here and it's humid outside, and the drills are sticking together, or they kind of clump together no matter, you know, how much washi tape I have in the tray. Alrighty, so all the 6s are done. I think A is also A. I think P is too. This whole thing might just be one big AB. So let's see here. What else is an AB here? 7 is an AB. 8 is an AB. P. There's a few P's in here, like just maybe like 4. Could I take them out this way? No, let's not. Okay, I'm using my aligner to grab these. Did I just drop one? No, you dropped 2. There we go. And I'm going to, being that I have it available, I find it easier. Oh gosh, this is these crazy, put that on top of there. This is this crazy drill container. I can't wait to get rid of these drill containers. These Tic Tac containers, they're so annoying. They really are annoying, and this is why. This is like, for somebody that is, you know, just obsessed with time management, this drives me nuts. But it's a step I'll take, because if not, they'll be all over my desk. Thank God for editing. That's where I'm coming back in at. Back to me. So we have P, which is like 5 ABs. I hope everybody is enjoying this day. It's one more day to TGIF. Just tapping some extra water off, because if you pick up too much, then they don't pick up either. Oh, am I going to have to take that syringe out again? I don't think so. I think I can manage. Let's do the X's and get out of this AB hell that I'm in. I love it, but because my ABs are in those Tic Tac containers, that's why. That I was watching. I love Kristen Bell. Kirsten. So bad. I'm such a murderer with names. My husband tells me all the time. He's like, you murder everything. But we're watching, and it's fun because we like to watch TV together, but I'm not always interested in what he's interested in. And he's never interested in what I'm interested in. He's watching Bad Monkey, which I am interested in because I love Vince Vaughn. He will forever be in my mind as You're So Money, baby. You're So Money. I think that's, what is that from? Is it Diner? Not Diner. Diner is Mickey Rourke, right? Oh my gosh. We're going back. We're going back. But I'm making a mess. That's what I'm doing. I'm making a mess. I love Vince Vaughn. And, oh, wrong one. And I love him in Bad Monkey. I love his sense of humor. I love him with Larry David. But I loved him, when he was younger. Oh my gosh, he is still so handsome, but oh my God, he was just so gorgeous. And so he's watching Bad Monkey, which is very good, really good. And we watched that together, and we watched Tulsa King together. And what else did we watch together? So I got him turned on to Nobody Wants This. He's like, oh, I like this girl. She's funny. And it is very cute. She has a podcast that has to do with sex with her sister. And for those of you that watched Succession, I love when these shows start out so strong. I loved Succession, but then I felt like every episode was the same. They were just a bunch of children trying to backstab each other and, go for the family fortune, And it just got to be monotonous. I didn't like it. I felt like that with the bear, too. I felt like the bear found, like, something, like, oh, people love him, the family all goes crazy. Well, not every episode. So, for those of you that saw Succession, the girl that played the one son that was like, office rocker, he was going to run for president. And they have so much money, they could just humor him and be like, yeah, okay, go run for president. What am I doing? Guys, here's where I get to use this because I made a mistake, picked it up off the A, and then just started to diamond paint A's. And you want to know what? I'm not going to take this out because I think you all need to see that I make mistakes too, and this is how I deal with them. I take my little nipper. I'm going to put them in this one because they have glue on them. And I just take them off. I like the nipper because it has a needle nose point and it has jaw teeth, and I can just get them off of there really quickly. Even if this was like in the middle of the canvas, I just start, you know, I mean, I could slide these right up to the X's, but I won't. I don't like sliding my drills because then you're pulling the glue and you know what happens? Your glue is like a rubber band. It will just slide back. It'll keep sliding back into the A's. And I pulled up an AB. Okay. So, you know, I make mistakes too, and there it is. Thankfully, I caught it. It's because I'm always running my mouth. But the girl, I'm just going to go right back into it. The girl that played the guy that wanted to, the guy that, was he a senator? They were all like, so, all the children were just all so crazy. But she was a hooker on the side, and he was paying this hooker to be his companion, and I think he ends up marrying her. But anyway, she plays Kristen Bell's sister, and she's very good. She's very funny. The writing is sharp. The writing is funny. So the sisters are running a podcast that has to do with sex, and Kirsten Bell finds herself attracted to a rabbi who is just going through a breakup where, you know, he was with the girl for a while, and maybe he would have proposed, maybe he wouldn't have, who knows. But I have a lot of friends who are Jewish, and I find the whole thing so funny because the whole family gets involved. It's like he's a grown man, he's broken up with this girl that he just thinks, he tells her, I don't think that, like, we've just been together for so long, but I don't think that we're right for each other. And what would most Jewish families do? They would call a rabbi, but he is the rabbi. And I remember my one girlfriend, she was dating someone that was outside of the Jewish faith, and her family, like, they let it go, like, let her have fun, because that's all it's going to be, because she's not going to marry unless he converts. And, you know, it was getting more and more difficult because nobody likes to be told what to do, but I get it, you know. And, you know, I remember going home with her one night, and we were out and having dinner, and like, oh, yeah, I'll pop in to see your family. And it was like the rabbi was there. You know, like, can't you talk some sense into your friend? She's killing me. And it's just like that, even in the show. It's like, she's killing me. She's killing me. She thinks that she's going to marry this guy, and he doesn't want to convert. And heaven forbid, like, that she would convert to Catholicism, which is exactly what happened. Yeah, she converted for him. She converted to Catholicism. This was a very prominent family in the community, and very successful family. They're all very successful, and so, like, this was not, you know, like, I'm just going to defy you. I love him, and I'm going to marry him. Needless to say, 10 years later, they're divorced. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I think I'm just cuckoo from all the diamond painting. Now we're going to do A, right? A. Please shout at me. Send me energy. Elisa, you're doing A. Yeah. Love is a losing game. Like Amy said, I love and I miss Amy Winehouse so much. It is still so difficult for me to see her come across YouTube and see her videos come, and then I'll turn it on for like 30 seconds, listen to that beautiful voice, and then I'll just start crying. I'm like, I can't. She should be here. She should be here. So sad. I loved her so much. I know she had her problems and her addictions, but what a freaking talent. And you always hope that, you know, she's going to come out of it. She's going to be okay. It's just a phase, you know. When she's singing that she's not going to rehab, I don't know. I couldn't help but sing along with her, but even I was like, Amy, listen to your father and go to rehab. Ugh. 27. I mean, just think of it. 27. Okay. More A's. It's such a pretty, I love this golden brown up against the black, but especially when it comes into where this is going to be the blue section. I love it. I was up last night. John conked out on me, so I couldn't watch any more of my show, because then he'll be like, you watching it without me? And I'll watch it again because it's so funny. But I was up last night on Art VEE. And I was looking for you guys. What was I looking for? I was looking for something that I can show you guys. And I like Art V because I pay for the membership. It's like $10 a month. And I love it because when I need to show you guys something, I can show you in high def. I think it was Beauty and Violet. That's what I was looking at. Beauty and Violet, really, she's also known as Beauty and Violet. She's the name that Quinzac gave her. And this is the Tuesday canvas that I do, which has to do with confetti, is Lady as Diana, also known as Beauty and Violet. And so I got, sucked into that vortex of Art V, and I start looking at other public domain pictures, and like that was it. I found like 3 paintings. I know I'm going to get another Quinzac. I know I'm going to get another one to just play off my Beauty and Violet, and I know which one I'm getting. And it wasn't on that site, but it led me somewhere else, which led me to somewhere else, and I found something else, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm definitely getting this made as a custom. Definitely, and I think you guys are going to love it. If you have taste like mine, I think you'll love it. It's something different. It's not another woman. Not another woman. It's actually, you all, hang on, it's a fairy. And I thought the only fairy that I would ever do would be Tinkerbell. But it's, because I don't know what it is with fairies. I don't know. I think I find them mean. I don't know why. I don't know if this is something from my childhood or my girlfriend Denise, who I've talked about, one of my best friends. She gave me a book, and I think I put it on eBay and sold it because it scared me, about fairies and about the study of fairies, and they were like plates of like photographs of fairies that they were, I can't even remember what the book was about. I'd have to go back into my eBay history and look at it, but it freaked me out. And it was a really expensive book, and I ended up selling it on eBay, and they just scare me. I mean, Tinkerbell wasn't, but, and who was the other? Maybe I'm just thinking it is just Tinkerbell. You have a hole in you. Here we go. I do believe that these drills, when they're marred like this, have a place in the Diamond Painting Society. And please, diamond painting companies, please do like al frescoes where these diamonds that have little holes in them would be just like, oh, like an aged al fresco. Keep putting that out there into the universe. Nobody's picking it up. It's an idea that I have, but I can't do anything with it. I'm listening to this while editing, and here's where my restaurant experience comes in. It's not al fresco. Al fresco is when you dine outside. It's just a fresco. A fresco is a painting on a wall that is aged. But I don't have a diamond painting company. I'm not going to start designing my own diamond paintings. But is it just Tinkerbell? Why do I keep thinking like, did Peter Pan have a fairy? Can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, please write in the comments. I need help sometimes, y'all. I'm thinking of like another like something that there were fairies. Anyway, but this is a fairy, and she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful, and I'm going to end up getting her done. But it's like aged and like antique-y, and like it just, I think I'm still living in my previous home. My previous home is very old Philadelphian, very antique-y. I collected a lot of antiques in New York. I used to go down to Hell's Kitchen, and I would, they had fabulous antiques down there. And I mean, like, not just like, old stuff, but like, I've gotten, negatives of, from maybe photographers that had passed on, and like they just like threw stuff on the sidewalk and they were like, here, go through it. And like I found celebrities in there. Not that I would ever do anything with them. Um, yeah, I have found beautiful dishes and beautiful things for my dining table. I used to collect these old like little jam jars. I have one that's shaped like a peach, and the saucer is like the leaves of the peach, and the little spoon inside is like a peach. I mean, it's like from the 40s. Like, yeah, that's where I live. That's where I live, and like I used to love finding like little, what do you call it, like knickknacks or bric-a-brac, I don't know what it's called, just like little antiques. My son could care less about it. I still have my, you know, antique furniture in the home um, that he's living at, so it's, you know, semi-furnished, and like he could care less. He's just he doesn't touch it because, you know, he doesn't use it. Not because he's afraid of breaking it, which he is, but also, oh, you want to just keep falling off, do you? But also because like, it's just not his style. He's not going to be putting like these fruit jars out with jam in them. Now it's a thing, you know. There's this one girl on Instagram. I can't remember her name, like Faris something, and everything in her house is white. White paper, white rugs, white blankets, white marble, and gold. Her house is beautiful. And every morning she'll get up and like she'll take you on like a little ride with her, like, oh, help me get my house ready. I'm like, oh, sure, let's go. Let me make believe that I live there. Everything is just so beautiful, and like nothing is like, if she comes home from the supermarket, it's not in the box. It's like in a jar. That's white and gold. You know, everything is under glass. You know, her little coffee station is white and gold, and like there's like beautiful cakes and croissants that are just waiting for, I don't know who. I never see anybody in her house. You know, I'm sure she has a family, but you never see them, and you know, everything is just like, so like, we would call it staged. Like if you wanted to sell this house, that's what you would make it look like. Oh, somebody's at my door. One moment. Okay, well, I have contractors here that are going to fix a stress fracture on my deck that's fiberglass. I didn't even know they were coming. I think John forgot to tell me. Well, I thought I dried this out pretty good. Okay, well, work what you got. What letter am I doing, everybody? Everybody concentrate on E. Send me good vibes. Yeah, so I kind of forgot what the heck I was even talking about. I always think it's just a delivery. And I really think that what I need is a new pen. I like this pen. Let me just use my thin pen that I have here. There we go. I need new putty, but I don't feel like stopping to get it. Oh, I think I was telling you guys about the little fairy that I'm having made. Oh, yeah. And then I'm having another, I'm going to have another Paul Quinsack made. I just think it's very appropriate for the channel, and it's very appropriate to be the image for my confetti series that I developed, a confetti method that I developed, and that I, you know, I believe in so much that I'm going to have it. Well, I am already. I've had my process copyrighted, and so I like this to be the image for the series. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just think that, you know, I've had work stolen off the internet before, right off my blogs, right off my website, and I just didn't do anything about it because I was just like, ugh. You know, I mean, I had a boutique steal an image, a dog grooming boutique steal images of my dogs. I have to put that photograph up because they're just so darn cute that you'd be like, oh yeah, yeah, I could see why they stole. And you know, this was all my work. This is what I did. The majority of the time that I lived in New York, I was teaching art. Um, I was teaching art classes. I was teaching mixed media over at the ink pad, and I was, you know, very much into photography, and I was, you know, living in New York. You know, you could walk down one city street and you could, like, you know, forget it. You take pictures for days. And I was doing all the media and graphic design work for the restaurants that we owned. So I was doing all the media content and meeting with, you know, advertisers and what do they call them? Influencers. Yeah, those people that would come into the place that would do, you know, I even had a studio for influencers right on the opening at the hostess station of the restaurant in Chelsea, where, you know, we had this like dead space and we didn't know what to do with it, and so we turned it into like a mini like media studio, so you didn't have to wait until you went home to do your broadcast, and you could have broadcast it right from our little studio that we had in the front of the store. It was really cool, and I had a lot of influencers that came in all the time, you know, really just to use the studio. But it was nice, you know. But I did all the content, and you know, of course I photographed my dogs, and it was taken right off. And I actually had my dogs groomed there, and I took a picture of them, and I guess he felt as though, well, we did the work, you know. But I say, hey, listen, I saw what you did, and I really love the pictures of the dogs. Do you mind if I would have been flattered? I would have been, oh my God, really? You want to use my dogs to like advertise your boutique? Yes, of course you can. I would have gave him the picture. I think you guys know me pretty well to know like I share everything that I know. And you know, so I've had that stolen. I've had newspapers come in to run articles on the store that went on our, you know, Instagram or Facebook or my Facebook page, and went and just took the pictures and wrote, you know, photo courtesy of whoever was writing the article. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is my work. I didn't even bother to ask, or they did ask, and maybe my ex-husband was like, yeah, sure, you can use those pictures. And no, you can't. That's my work, and I want photo credit for it. I don't care what kind of article you're writing. Everything that you wrote about us was well-deserved and earned. So, you know, it's not like I'm doing a trade, like, oh, here, you know, here's my content for your content. No, no freaking way. So I just felt like with what I'm doing here, and I really believe in it, and I've gotten such good feedback from it, that I want to protect it as being, you know, my method but anyway, anything that you put on YouTube is already copyright, from what I understand from copyright. You know, it's already, you putting it up to the public is already a process of copyright. That's what I understand. It's so confusing, but anyway. So I'm doing that portrait. What else am I doing? I think there were three. And I was getting tired, and like so tired that the phone fell out of my hand. But I think that there were three that I actually wanted to have made, and I'm still using Dreamer Design to do the custom because I love their work. I love the renditions that they do. You're very much involved when you do any kind of custom work with them. They will, you know, say to you, here's your mock-up. What do you think? Do you want to change anything? Now there is one. Oh, which one is it? There is one that I wanted to change. It wasn't the fairy, and it wasn't the other Paul Quinsack that I want to have done. It is a third one, and it's from a Spanish painter, and she had like blonde hair. So I think when I have this, have them do the rendering, I'm going to tell them that I want darker hair. I want darker hair, or darker drills for the hair. I don't want it to be that bright white platinum. Oh, I have to remember which one it is, and I'll be showing you guys soon. You know, it's not like I'm running out of content to share with you guys. I have so much to begin with, and that's something else that I'm learning about my channel. You know, I do a lot of this stuff, like, and sometimes, like, I sit down in the morning, like, I got a lot of my housework out of the way and stuff like that, and everybody's taken care of, and so it's like, okay, I can really focus on my channel today, and I'll sit down at this desk, and I might do a video or two. Sometimes I'm only doing one, and, you know, before you know it, I'm going up to bed. Like, by the time I shoot it, by the time I edit it, by the time I do the writing, and the title and the graphic, because I do all the graphics that you see on my channel, I have done, they're mine. It's like time to go to bed. And I'm like, oh, I'm missing the algorithm. Like, the algorithm says that this is when you all are on this channel. Okay, that's one thing. And I'm going to share this for anybody that has their own channel, because like I said, I share everything. I share everything because I believe that it just comes back to me anyway. So if you have a channel, and like, the algorithm really is not, it's a bullet point, but it's not really the whole shebang of like, oh, you have to upload it this time because you got to catch these people. It's like catching a wave. Let's catch the wave, and this is when everybody's on, and they're all going to see your content. Not so. What I found is that, and what I believe too, is like, when I start doing my diamond painting, okay, then I started to offer you guys tips. Like, that became like a new category on my channel. Self-Care Sunday became a new category on my channel. And I think that Self-Care Sunday, more than anything, because even though I am doing a self-care topic and I am also diamond painting, it's still labeled in the thumbnail Self-Care Sunday. And so the traffic that YouTube would send to me for diamond painters, then YouTube kind of becomes confused and is like, well, what is this? And so it kind of, you know, doesn't know where to put you at. And so you might have your ideal viewer that's for you for whatever your niche is. Mine is diamond painting. I wanted it to be more things, but I've kind of curtailed that to other things. So if I now introduce a new topic, it's kind of like, well, we're sending you these people for diamond painting, and now, like, you're not doing that, even though I am. I'm just, you know, that's my talk, you know. And so I've learned that I've got to, like, integrate the whip and chat, like whip and it has to be like it's not confusing, but it's work. And when I find something out, I hope that made sense. So it's like YouTube categorizes you, and then when you bring a new category in, it just doesn't know what to do with you. It's not going to send you your diamond painting people when you're talking about like Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's going to be like, well, we don't really know what this category is anymore. And then, like, all week long, I'm getting back to diamond painting, and like I do my diamond painting people, I get found, but then not as many as if I just kept it consistent to diamond painting. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so I guess you just have to, you're looking for your ideal person that's looking for this content, but I also risk losing that viewer by bringing they're kind of like, well, I didn't sign up for this. What the heck is she talking about? Like, she's reading a book now, you know, what the heck is that? You know, I didn't sign up to hear her read. And yeah, so I think that throws you off the algorithm more than anything. And then there's just like other different things, like I'm trying to think like what I learned so far, because it's like I feel like I'm going to YouTube University. And there is a creator studio, but they're very brief sessions, like a minute long. And so that when I find someone that really is generous with their knowledge and is willing to tell you about these things and what you can do too, because it is a lot of work. You know, I no matter how much I love this, it is a lot of work, and you do want to grow your audience, and you do want to grow your membership. I don't think that anyone should be embarrassed about saying, hey, you know what, I put a lot into this and I'm worth it, and I want to be compensated for what it is that I'm doing. I don't think you should ever be embarrassed about asking for your worth at all. At all, because I went through that. Oh, don't worry about it. Especially when I had the restaurant. Oh, don't worry about it. I got the check. It's not a big deal. But people want to support you. It may not be a big deal, and it's nice to pick up the check here and there or send something over. But people also, you're taking away their joy of giving something to you. And now the other phone is ringing. Okay, one moment, please. Okay, that was Dr. Beat on the phone. My husband, who I had to make sure I know what I was doing here, who is making his famous. Let's see, I would want to put this up on the site, on this channel. My husband made me. After my father died, he was very concerned about me. We were just friends. We've known each other our whole lives. However, I only knew my husband, like, on the surface. I really did not know him and his personality. I was married before we reconnected through that whole Facebook thing. When Facebook in 2009 really became like a part of our lives. And from the last time I had seen Johnny, I was like in St. Nicholas, grade school. And I knew him from the neighborhood and all, but we were friends, but I knew him, that's all. And when my dad died, we were already like connected. We were like, I was going to his shows. He's a musician. We were hanging out at the same places on the avenue, which is somewhere that most people that where I lived at, we would walk to. It's a scene for like bars and restaurants and food and music and yoga and shopping. And so, it's walkable. It'd be like, hey, I'm having a show. I'd be like, yeah, I'll walk over. And so when my dad died, I was pretty close with a lot of people that from my past that I had reconnected with. And he was one of them. And I remember him telling me, like, I always knew that your marriage wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. But, I really saw it when your dad died. And I just saw, like, you just did not have any emotional support whatsoever. And he was right. And I had left the day that I buried my father. I had left my marriage of 30 years. I don't know. I think I went into this tangent. I don't know if it actually, made it or it hit the cutting room floor. That I think when women are just, ready to go, they go. And I was ready. And I had a big plan. I was going to sell my house in Philly. My son was not living in Philly. I don't think he was. He may have been just somewhere else in Philly. My son has moved around a lot, with jobs and work and stuff. And so he didn't want to live back in my house. And I just was like, hey, I'm going to sell this house and I'm moving to Florida. That was the plan. And, I think I kind of knew that when my dad died, that I was going. What I was going to do was take a trip first. I think I just needed time to be alone and not do anything too impulsive, because I can be impulsive. And I remember John saying to me, like, I knew that your marriage wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. But, my friends, very respectful of me, they all knew. They all knew that something was off, and I didn't talk about my marriage, but they all knew that something was not right. And when my father died, that was it. I was done. And I remember Johnny saying, you've been very, you've been missing from MIA, from the social scene and all. I'm like, John, I don't even teach yoga anymore. I gave up my position over at the studio. I'm figuring out what I want to do next. And this is like March of 2020. So the universe kind of, you know, said, well, you don't have to worry about that for too much longer, because there's really not going to be anything that anybody can do. There's a pandemic on the horizon. And I remember, like, I remember running into John. It was like I was running into him everywhere at one point. And I remember going down to a post office that I don't go to. And he walked in. It was like out of both our neighborhoods. I was like, what the hell are you doing here? He's like, I'm getting a passport. I'm like, so am I. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to Italy. And like, that was like the gist of it. Like, you know, I went my way, got my passport. He went his way. And I was like, oh, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in the neighborhood. But that's the kind of friends we were. And I remember him saying, you know, hey, it was like so crazy running into you in the post office. And what is going on in this house today? There's someone at the door. One moment, please. Where were we? Maybe it's a good thing I don't remember where we are. So I was telling you guys that I was coming up with tips and tricks for my color blocking, and I think that this is going to be a good example to do that. Let me see here. I haven't used this pen in a while. This is what I do. I pick up all different pens and diamond paint. But I did a lot of, this is not picking up. I did a lot of my Woman in Gold. There's a lot of dotting that goes on in that canvas. A lot. It's really, you know, unless it was just me, the weather, the drills, I found it not so easy to multi-place yesterday Woman in Gold. It didn't matter what I was using, wax. It didn't matter if I was using a skinny placer, a Diamond Art Club placer, my skinny placers, putty. It just seemed like it was just giving me a problem. And I was like, you know what? It's the universe telling me I have to slow down. Oh, so that's what I was talking about, the universe. And the pandemic happened. And, you know, John remembered my dad and my mom and my brother, of course, and came to the wake. And he was checking up on me a lot when my dad died, because he remembers, you know, how he felt when his dad died, and he was taking care of his mom, who had COPD. And she relied on Johnny because, you know, he only lived a few blocks from her house. And so, like, he knew. He was like, I don't really think that it hit you yet. But I remember him saying, why don't you, I was not leaving the house. I was very isolated. I went into a depression with my grief, and I didn't expect it, really. I felt like I didn't leave anything undone with my dad. You know, I called him practically every day, and I saw him once a week, if not more. And so I really didn't think like there was anything left unsaid or undone with my dad. But I did learn that I really didn't know. I wish I had known John a little bit better, because, you know, my dad and John are so much alike. It's what I found out about my husband, is that my dad and him are so much alike. But he was checking up on me, and he said, why don't you just get out of the house? I'll send an Uber. Come over. I'm making dinner. And I was like, what? Like, I knew Johnny is a musician and a bachelor, and, you know, the women moved through a turnstile in his life, and I was like, what? No, I'm not coming over your house for dinner. No, so I'm just going to go to the corner. Like I said, I lived in in an area not too far from here. I could walk to my home. It's about 8 blocks, where there was like a lot of restaurants, and there was this new like Thai restaurant that opened, and I was like, no, I'm just going to go get some soup. That's what I've been craving all day long. He's like, Elisa, I'm going to send an Uber. I just did all this shopping today. and I'm making food for the week. I had known none of this about him, that this is like what his lifestyle was really like. He was, working 6 days a week, and on his day off, he would go down to like our Italian market, and he would buy all his meats and fruits and vegetables, and he would cook on that day and make all his meals for the week. And so I was like, listen, he's like, I want you to get out of the house, because you're very isolated right now, Lisa. It's not good. Just get some air. I don't even care if you come over in your pajamas. I don't care. Just come over and keep me company. I was like, all right, I'll come over, but I'm bringing my soup. And he was making like was he making like a lobster franchise? I'm like, you're taking this to work during the week? And he's like, no, I'm making it for you, silly. You can eat your soup, but I want you to try this. And, it was a nice night. I went home. Of course I went home. And, once again, he called me. He's like, listen, I'm making a Caesar salad. Do you want to come over? And I was like, really? What kind of Caesar salad are you making? And he's like, well, what other kind is there? I'm making it in a big wooden bowl, with a raw egg and some anchovy flats, and I'm like, get the hell out of here. He's like, I am. And when I came over, I decided that I was going to videotape this. I was going to videotape him making a Caesar, traditional Caesar salad. And I laughed like the first time that I have laughed in a long time, because he made it so comical and he was so funny. And, he just made it so funny. And I love that I captured all that. And so he called me today and he's like, I want to make you Caesar salad tonight. I was like, oh yes. That was him calling. And he said, like, what do I need? Do I have anchovy flats in there? Do I have red wine vinegar? Do we have eggs? And I'm like, yes, we do. We have all those things. All right, I'm going to go to the butcher. I'm going to get some chicken. We're going to have chicken Caesar salad. And that's going to be my dinner tonight, kids. And I wish I could videotape that and put it up. But YouTube's going to throw me off the algorithm again if I do. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about my channel, and I'm thinking about maybe starting another channel for all these other things that I want to do that won't interfere with my diamond painting. And for those of you that are deemed by YouTube as the ideal viewer, your ideal viewer is looking for something that you're offering, diamond painting tips, say, and they label you as the ideal viewer. Well, ideal viewer doesn't get any notifications from me if I start doing other things. It's like they're not interested in what you're doing. Not interested in your husband's chicken Caesar salad. Go start another channel. Oh my God, I'm cracking up. I crack myself up. I hope that you guys are laughing. But yeah, I crack myself up. So I am going to finish this C, because the other knock at the door after the phone rang were the two gentlemen. Get a load of this story. You guys know I always have a story. So two guys came to the door, and they were like, fiberglass? And I'm like, let me close the door, because Foofy has become like Houdini, like an escape artist. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yes, fiberglass. We fix your fiberglass. I'm like, no, I don't need my fiberglass fixed. I just had the deck put on last year. No, I gotta check for like cracks and stuff. I'm like, no. And the guy got all frustrated because he could not speak English. I don't speak Spanish. And so he's like, he's pointing down the street, Sea Glass. And I'm like, yes, Sea Glass is the guy who did my fiberglass. He's like, yes, down the street. And I see my husband's friend Sean, who owns Sea Glass Fiberglass, going, Johnny called me. You got a crack in the fiberglass. I'm like, let me put I got my shoes when I'm going down the street. I'm just like, Sean, are you crazy? You have two guys at my door with a spatula saying they're going to, like, they're asking, like, do you need your fiberglass checked? And do you think I'm going to let them in the house, you know? And he's like, oh, yeah, Johnny called me last week. I can't find his number. This is typical Sean. And I'm like, and they're telling me, I'm like, no, maybe the guy across the street needs his fiberglass done. And he's like, yeah, we go there too. And I'm like, yeah, all right, well, no, I don't need my fiberglass done. Welcome, like I told you yesterday. We never stop pouring the tea here. We just have two guys here with fiberglass that you know, with a spatula, not even the fiberglass. They have to get the fiberglass, and that stuff smells horrendous. Oh, horrible. It's horrible. They didn't tell me the last time that I had to leave the house. And I was in here when they were fiberglassing the deck. My neighbors called the gas company. I didn't realize, they were like, you can't be in the house with that. I'm like, be in the house with it. They actually spilled it on my floor, and I picked it up with paper towels. I couldn't talk for 2 weeks. I couldn't catch a breath in my lungs. Okay, enough of my stories. Enough of that. Let's move on. So this is all done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably shoot the tips that I have for color blocking. This is a nice juicy, and I like the design in here for the color blocking. What I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to diamond paint the rest of this area on my own, but I'm going to keep filming and I'll speed that up. I'm not going to put music or anything, just so you get a good idea of, like, this is going to be the template for the color blocking. And I didn't plan that, but as I'm looking at it and thinking of, like, the tutorial that I want to teach you guys when it comes to color blocking. Well, what do I need a tutorial for color blocking for? That's so stupid. You don't. But some of you don't like color blocking, or you find it monotonous. And, you know, I'm just jumping off. Why did I try and do that? I'm just jumping off the help that I gave you guys with confetti. And I am thinking about the people that, you know, there are people that are afraid of confetti, and there are people that are afraid of color blocking. They're like, no, it's monotonous. I don't like it. It's boring. And so I'm going to do a little something for you guys, and make it fun for you. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. While Mr. Foofy, you know, decides that he's going to tap me because maybe he wants a treat or something. I don't know. But I see I missed a few E's over here, and so I'm going to get them in. Didn't I say I was going to stop talking? I always say that. I'm always going away. I'm going to stop talking, and then I start talking again. But what I'm going to do is, because, like, John will be walking in the door, and, like, he'll say to me, are you filming? And I'll be like, yeah, I am. And then he'll just start talking. Well, let me tell you what happened today. I'm like, what part of yes did you not understand that I'm filming? Okay, so the E's are in. This is going to be a really fun color blocking tutorial, I think. Maybe you will. I don't know. But like I said, I share all my ideas with you guys, and you guys keep me going. So, now that I spilled those out of the container, this is why I don't use tweezers. I'm keeping this in. This is why I don't use tweezers. I just don't, because they're a mess. But I do have my fingertip moisturizer here. And I spilled a few here, because my hands are dry. And I, you know, I need this little, you know, fingertip. You might see this, you know, when you count money or you do a lot of paperwork. It just moistens your fingertips. So I keep it there for, like, my, you know, bloopers that I have here. All right, put this away. This was the E that I just shot across the room because I didn't have the container totally closed. I'm going to put K in here, and these little, the rest of this. This is all K, but I'm going to do that on my own quietly so that I could speed this up and not go too long. And then we're going to, I'm going to say goodbye, and then I'm going to do my video for color blocking, which will probably be Tip Tuesday, maybe? Okay, we'll see. I don't know. Can't change too much. Here we go. I really mean it this time. Good evening, everybody, and I do mean good evening. The day kind of got away from me. There were a lot of interruptions while I was diamond painting. All of them had to be handled. And I am coming into the final few colors that are left here before I have nothing but black to be diamond painted. And I'm going to use this big chunk of this painting as for another video where I'm going to show you how to make your color blocking fun. If it's not fun for you, if it's fun, it'll be more fun. But if you don't think color blocking is fun, maybe I can help you find a way to make it fun. So anyway, I have them all out now. I'm just going to diamond paint quietly. I'm probably going to speed it up. I don't know if I'm going to have music or not. I said no music earlier, but who knows? I mean, I didn't really think that it was going to be, you know, this long. But the only section that you didn't see is where there was some more of this blue that you had already seen me put down here. So I'm going to get started. And my husband's going to be home in a little baby bit. And we're going to have some dinner. Well, that didn't take long at all. I thank you for being with me today. It was a long day. I believe like this might be close to 2 hours on my end of what I'm looking at right now. It's close to 2 hours, but I'm going to be speeding that up. I really like this like little section here of this flower. I really do. And I'm going to use this back section, which is nothing but black in the back, a big chunk of color blocking. And like I said, I'm going to use it for another video. I should just sleep here because I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and I'm doing my little black cat, spooky black cat that is going to be spliced into John's spooky story that he read. I think it wasn't the one that he originally wanted to read, but he's got a few of them, so maybe he'll be reading once a week for us. Anyway, I gotta do some other stuff. The laundry's still downstairs in the dryer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.